Again, when we look, go back to the one that from that documentary, um, it's shown that countries with average incomes similar to Malaysia, they try to compare with other countries that have the same average incomes in Malaysia, or we can say that the same status, which is they look at into another countries they have, they also is a upper middle income country. So they try to compare to Malaysia, and they found that Malaysia have absolute PLI equivalent to 2,550 ringgit per month for a family of four. Okay. However, we use 980 ringgit. But if we compare to the similar status of that country, of other country, they have a similar average income, they have a similar status. Supposed to be our PLI is 2,550 ringgit, which is 3 times with the current PLI. No, this is not the current now. Of course, the current that I said just now, it was announced in July 2020, which is like 5 months ago. But then the 3 times with the previous PLI, which was a PLI 2016. Again, because of that, as I said that it's not enough. We want to measure poverty by looking at how much the household earns. Okay, so the Oxford Poverty and Human Development Initiative in 2010, they are the one that developed the MPI, Multi-Dimensional Poverty Index. Of course, with the support of the UN, and they look at the poverty not just in terms of the household earns, but they look at in terms of the deprivation suffered in the areas of health, in the areas of education, and in the areas of living standards. It means that they look at another 4 dimensions: health, income, health, education, and living standards. So there are another 3 additional of dimensions that they want to measure the poverty index. Again, from the one that you watched just now, okay, the documentary. Okay, these are dimensions just now. Instead of income, they look at the education, health, and standard of living. So the indicator for the dimension of education, they're looking into the school years and also the school attendance. Okay, and they considered that families, okay, is deprived if all house members, aged 13 to 16 years old have less than 6 years education. It means that if they just go from just a primary level only, like standard 1 until standard 6, for example. Okay, where they found that in terms of Malaysian national percentage of household deprived for this dimension of particularly for this indicator in terms of the schooling years, it increased from 2014 to 2016. Okay, and then they look at in terms of the school attendance. The school attendance, they look at on how, okay, any child in the household age 6 to 16 is not schooling, and means that from the preschoolers, okay, 6 years old until like form 4 is not schooling. And again, from percentage is there is a reduce in terms of the prevalence. That's for the education. So it means that they're looking into the school years and also in terms of the school attendance. Okay. The second dimensions, they look in terms of the health. Okay, health, where they're looking into the healthcare access and also access to the clean water. That is the 2 indicators. Okay, the health access, they look at in terms of their family. Okay, if deprived, if they have the healthcare, they cannot access the healthcare, where the healthcare can be accessed, can be accessed more than 5 kilometer away, and there is no mobile health facilities. And also we can see that there is an increase in terms of the prevalence. And the clean water access, okay, no treated pipe water or no public pipe water or standpipe in the community, in the household. And we can see also there is a a decrease. For this one, there is a decrease in terms of the prevalence of deprivation in terms of drinking water access. Okay, but in terms of dimension standard of living, there are a lot of indicators. Okay, they have a living place condition, room crowdness, toilet, garbage, transportation, and basic communications tools. Okay, so the living place and conditions, okay, yeah, the family deprived if they have dilapidated atau deteriorating in terms of the living place. Okay, and also in terms of the room crowdness and number of bedrooms, if they have more than household members in a bedroom, it means that in one bedroom, there are around 3 or 4 members sharing the same bedroom, then it can consider as a deprivation in terms of the standard of living. In terms of the toilet, they have no pour toilet or no flush toilet. And garbage collection facility, there is no garbage collection facility. There is, in terms of transportations, there is no all don't use public or private transportation. And in terms of the basic communication tools, they have no consistent fixed line or mobile phone. Okay, so from here, and they will go for the dimension of standard of living. Okay, and then for the income, of course, for the mean income, they look at in terms of the mean house income below the poverty line income. Which is the poverty line income during that time is about 980 ringgit for the Peninsula of Malaysia, where they found that okay, that is about 30% of the national percentage of household deprived, compared to the one that just now we said that is about just 0.6%. So this is then we look at in terms of this one. This is a national percentage of multi-dimensionally poor household, where in 2014 is about 1.1%, and if in 2016 is about 0.8%. But in terms of the looking into national average intensity deprivation of multi-dimensional poor household, okay, the one that you could use the multidimensionals, there is an increment in terms of the prevalence. So in terms of the Malaysia MPI Index score, if they do the comparison, there is a decrease compared to 2016. Okay, so this is use the multidimensional. Okay. So actually, why Malaysian poverty measures need improvement? As we watch together the documentary just now, the 2016 MPI figures, it shows that only 0.8%. That means that the poverty monitoring tool is only looking about 1% of the Malaysian population, which miss opportunity to keep track the impact of policies on the P40 groups. Without we increase the benchmark in the MPI, so the Malaysian government will not be see how far the progress in improving the living conditions for the B40, which the areas such as education or health where it is doing relatively well or not. So MPI with higher and more ambitious benchmark, actually these things can help with the monitoring and living conditions of the B40 and allow more focused approach in policies to those worse off or more deprived within the B40. Okay, and how we can do better in terms of the MPI in Malaysia? While the MPI used by the Malaysian government shows the percentage of households facing the respective deprivation, and the World Bank illustration is based on calculation on the percentage of population facing deprivation. Next, kita akan tengok, tadi pun dah tunjukkan dekat dalam documentary, the comparison which shows the result of figures that we use the World Bank example and calculation method. Okay, just now they already shows that and how that from Malaysia we say that is about like 0.8%, but actually kalau kita menggunakan benchmark from the from the World Bank, okay, we actually 19.2% of national percentage of multi-dimensionally poor population, which is give the MPI, and the score is a 0.06 instead of 0.0033. Okay. Okay. For example, kalau untuk from Malaysia itself, okay, we define in terms of the school education, deprived if all household members receive less than 6 years education, which means all the household members. Okay, all. Maknanya Kalau seorang je tak apa. Okay, seorang tak apa, maknanya orang adik dia yang kedua ke ketiga dan keempat, for example there are 4 household members, make sure number 1, number 2, number 3, all of them are less than 6 years. Kalau satu orang saja, then dia tak consider. However, for the World Bank, they consider that if any of the family members, if there are 4 family members, 4 orang ni more than 6, cuma seorang sahaja, then it considered as deprivation. So it's very strict compared to the Malaysian, cara Malaysian ukur untuk poverty, MPI. So another the different things kalau you nampak kat situ, instead of 1.22%, it increased to 20%. Sebab kadang-kadang dalam family kita selalu tahu kan within the family members, only the elders sacrifice for the younger sisters or for your younger siblings to go to the schools. They have to sacrifice. Kalau macam tu dia tak kira kalau dekat MPI Malaysia, sebab dia kata make sure all. Tapi kalau salah seorang dia tak kira any household members. Tapi kalau dekat dalam World Bank dia kira any household members. Either lah, tak kisahlah. Okay. So kalau no pour toilet or no flush toilet kalau dia kata dia bagi all, either all lah kan. Tapi dekat kalau World Bank dia kata no flush toilet. So also there is a increment in the burden prevalence instead of 0.34 to 13.5%. And mean household income, poverty line income, because we use the old one, okay. So it gives also a different where in the World Bank, the benchmark is about like 50% of median monthly income per person, which is mean monthly income per person. Per person, okay, is about like less than 620 ringgit for 20%. And then kalau untuk yang Malaysia, kita kata all don't use public or private transport. But then for the world, they remove the transportation indicator. So that's why there is a there is a different in terms of the Malaysian, how the Malaysian use the MPI or calculate in terms of deprivation of poverty compared to the World Bank. That's why kita kata kita punya national of multiple household is still low, is about 0.86%. However, okay, as I mentioned just now, in 2017, in 2020, in July, okay, the government announced that the statistic demands that Malaysian new poverty line incomes instead of 980 ringgit with 4 household income to 2,208 ringgit. And from here, when they revised the PLI, they found that over 400,000 household in Malaysia are considered poor. See the difference? Just now kita kata Malaysia has a very low income, but actually when they revise the PLI for that 400, it means that almost 500,000 of Malaysian is considered. Okay. I will show you after this in our previous